Yo, what's up? It's your boy UndaSkore. Welcome back to the channel for another video. Today I'm going to be making a beat in Ableton from scratch, and I'm going to be showing you the full process from beginning to end. I'm not going to have my camera on because it will just make it a lot longer to edit, and I'll end up just talking nonsense anyway. Hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're starting off with a fresh, clean project. I've got a BPM set to 140, which is just usually the tempo I work at. I'm going to start off by trying to create a melody, and then from there decide what genre it is. I just find it a bit easier to be sort of open to whatever comes. I'm going to turn down the volume here. I like to sort of gain stage and mix as I go along, so I have a lot of headroom at the end of the project. Makes it a lot easier. In Analog Lab, this is the sound that we've got starting with, Mallet Stream. So I'm going to mess about on the MIDI keyboard, see if anything catches my fancy. So I like the sound of that. It's a really basic 2-chord progression. I'm just going to record it in. So you can see here, it's basically an A minor going down to the D minor. The only difference is we've got this extra note here, which is the B. It just adds something a bit odd to it, a bit of tension. Ton of reverb on there too. So now I'll put a bit of RC20 on it just to process it slightly. So again, we're going to use Analog Lab for the next layer. I definitely recommend Analog Lab if you haven't got it. It's just fantastic. And now I want to find maybe like a flute or something that can be used as a lead sound. Just playing a few keys to come up with a catchy little melody, which I think I've almost got down. So I'm just going to record it in now. Perfect. So I really like the emotion that we get from this. So what we're going to do next is start going onto the drum so we can get a bounce going. And then what I like to do is come back to the melodic elements to fill in the sort of gaps and spaces after we figured out the rhythm. So I'm just going to group these two together, call it drums. This will be my kick and snare, and then I'll also throw in a MIDI layer, which will be my hi-hat. And these are the 3 layers that I always start off with when I'm doing my drums. And then we add more for like percs and things like that afterwards. So I'm going to throw in a hi-hat MIDI loop. And this is just so I can figure out if the bounce works. Afterwards I can go in and change it or create a new pattern from scratch. For my drum sounds for drill, I always tend to start off with the Prick Kit Volume 4 by J Cactus because it's one of the best kits. I think it has all the sounds you need, so I definitely recommend it. And now for a kick, what I will do is start off with a really basic kick pattern. Just put them on the 1 beat on each bar. And then when we do the 808 later, then I work out the kick to go in conjunction with that. And I also put on a soft shaper because I really want to just have that thump. So you can just go to Saturator and Ableton, the stock one, and you've got this. So now I want to throw in another melodic layer because we've got a better idea of where the track's going. So I've got another MIDI layer, and this time we're going to throw in arcade. One issue with arcade is there are so many kits, sometimes you're not really sure where to start. So you just got to find something. So I'm going to record a few in and then just bounce them to audio so we can use them when we need to. So we'll just take out the ones like that, and then literally I'm just going to freeze the track. If you're done with a MIDI layer, like you're sure you're not going to change it, just freeze it because you'll save on so much computing power. But I'm going to also flatten it, and you'll see, voila, it's now audio on an audio layer. So we just chop out the bits that we want to keep. So this is the first one, and this, and then this. So we've got a bit of a selection with the melodic parts now. So what I'm going to do is just start arranging it a little bit. These vocals I'll move over to the side. They can come in later. Now for my drill 808, I tend to again use J Cactus ones. There's this one called a Fat and Deep 808, which is so good as a sort of starting 808. And then you can change it from there. Make sure that the glide is on, which is important for those slides, of course. So what I want to do here is just figure out a first 808 pattern, because I do like to do a few. So now I just need to follow the progression essentially. So I know my root note's A minor. And with drill, what you tend to do is go until the first snare. And if I don't like the key of the 808, like it's sounding odd in that key, I will change pretty much the key of the whole song to fix it. You can obviously change your 808, but a lot of the time the 808 is tuned and it just doesn't sound good in that sort of region. So in this case, let's just fill this out. So root note. So you can see, like with everything else, it's just building blocks, you know, just going step by step, filling things out where they need to go. Next, we need to do these sort of in-between notes. So I think the kick can go somewhere here. So I'm going to just put another 808 to go where the kick is sitting. And then maybe do another one. So you see a bit of trial and error, just trying random things until you get like a cool effect, something that sounds interesting. So now we're going to put in a kick there. So you can see I'm just going along section by section just to make it easy. Now I want to do another slide around here. And from there you've got a nice basic pattern. I like to do more than one pattern though, but what I'm going to do here is consolidate the kick, because the kick pattern I'll keep the same. Now for the 808, what I like to do next is just add some saturation, which is important for making it stand out, you know, making sure that it sounds good on different speakers, giving it a bit of extra grit and saturation. So I'm gonna just turn off everything below like 100 Hertz. We don't need anything done to that sub part, but everything above I'm just going to increase a bit of treble, presence, whatever I need to depending on the track. So now we're coming along and we just have to keep arranging as we go. So next I'm going to copy over the drums and we can have like the vocals come in, flute drops out. So now I'm going to process this arcade layer a bit, yeah, make it a bit more interesting. Take out a lot of the lows, have it quite high. And I think we'll also try a shaper box on it, which can give some really interesting effects and just like weird stuff. So next we want to put in some perc sounds. Now in drill beats and trap beats especially, I think the perc sounds are so important. And I think we'll also throw in this little triangle. Just throw in a little open hat just to add to the bounce. So now we've got basically the intro and then it drops into the hook, and from there arranging it's sort of easy because verses, you know, you just take things out, make it a bit more sparse and just make sure that you have a sort of impact going back into the hook again. That sounded pretty good. And then for the impact itself, maybe a gunshot. Gunshots always work in drill. Then maybe one more sort of effect sound just to transition out of the hook. Something a bit weird maybe. Simple. Now when it comes to drill, the drop, you know, it can come in like straight away like it has here. But more often than not you have this little extended drop thing. So what I do here is take that out, and just wait until the kicks come in. Not the first hit, but the second time. And you can have the 808 to match it as well. So for example, that would sound like this. Take out the vocal in the intro, just have it come in, the drop there, and maybe the flute, have that also come in when the kick hits as well. So let's give that a try. So now you can see, because we've been sort of mixing as we go along, you only have to slightly tweak things, you know, just listen on different systems. Like on my headphones at the moment, it sounds pretty decent. So this has taken me around an hour. There was a lot of time spent just like flicking through, trying to find different presets and stuff like that. I'll play the full beat at the end of this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, have a good one. Peace out.